Christopher and Rose are looking for their daughter Sharon, who is a sleepwalker. Sharon is about to throw herself into the river, but Rose manages to save her. Since the girl wakes up in the middle of nightmares, screaming the name of a town known as Silent Hill.
Rose!
Believing that her daughter's presence in the town could help her resolve her problem, Rose takes her to the town. Christopher calls Rose, but she doesn't answer, and he investigates about Silent Hill. Before reaching the town, Rose is stopped on the way by Officer Sybil, who suspects her intentions. Rose impulsively accelerates the car towards Silent Hill, causing an accident when the figure of a girl appears crossing in the middle of the road. Rose crashes, and that's how it begins. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I am going to recap the movie. When Rose wakes up, she realizes that her daughter is not there. She finds herself at the entrance of the town, where there is a thick fog and it's raining ash. Rose goes towards the town, and she sees that there is no one there. Rose sees someone running, and she chases them through an alley. The girl goes towards some stairs, and when Rose goes down them, an alarm starts to sound. Rose goes into the darkness, and she turns on a lighter. She walks towards an alley and sees a girl. She thinks it's Sharon and runs after her. Rose finds someone hanging a reference to the game, and from behind, some charred children appear and go after her and corner her. The children disintegrate and Rose passes out. Rose wakes up, and she finds herself in an abandoned bowling alley. She goes out to look for Sharon and realizes that there is no way out of the town and that there is only an abyss. Rose meets a mysterious woman with a gaunt appearance named Dahlia, who speaks in code and assaults her when she shows her a photograph of Sharon, saying that Sharon is her daughter.
It's me! Get away!
Rose pushes her and runs away. Christopher goes to look for Rose, and he asks about her at the gas station where Rose was. The mechanic doesn't want to tell him where Silent Hill is, but he bribes him. Rose runs towards her car and finds a map and a drawing that says, "School." Rose sends a voice message and tries to start the car, and the police arrive. The police ask her about the girl and arrest her.
I don't think you understand. There's something weird going on here.
Christopher hears Rose's message, and he arrives at a bridge where there are some officers who tell him that his wife crashed and that an officer went missing. The officer and Rose try to leave the town, and the police realize the abyss. They see a silhouette, and the police ask who it is.
Hey, you up there!
A deformed creature comes out and throws acid at the police. The police shoot at it, and Rose runs away. It stretches its arms forward, and she heads to the school. Rose enters the school to look for Sharon. She finds a flashlight. Christopher and the officer try to look for Rose in Silent Hill, but they are in the world where everything is burned and not the ghost world. Rose hears something and realizes that some guys are coming, and she runs to hide. Rose enters a classroom and sees a desk that says, "Witch." She finds Alessa's notebook, and there is a flashback where some children bully her. Rose sees a girl running and chases her. She enters the door, but there's no one there. She checks the bathroom stalls, and she finds a dead body and is disgusted. She reads that the wall says, "I dare you," and she sticks her hand in the dead person's mouth to get a clue. She sees that the guys are outside, and she tries to close the door. The guys try to open the door, but the guys get scared and leave. The alarm starts to sound again, and it turns to night. Rose turns on the flashlight, and everything turns into scary mode. The dead body from the bathroom comes out crawling, and instead of running, Rose shines the flashlight on it.
Run, bitch! Run!
Rose goes through the hallways and everything has changed, and the guys from before are eaten by some bugs. Rose sees Sharon drawing, and she falls out the window. Pyramid Head comes out. In the other world, Christopher keeps looking for Rose, and he feels her scent.
I found her.
Meanwhile, Rose hides. Rose throws herself on the floor crying, and the bunch of bugs approach. The police officer arrives, grabs Rose, and they lock themselves in a room. Rose gives him a pipe to block the door. The officer takes Rose's handcuffs off, and Pyramid Head arrives and stabs the door. Pyramid Head tries to open the door, and the officer shoots him in the arm. He leaves, and everything returns to normal. The officer asks for explanations for everything that happened. And Rose shows her what she found and tells her that her daughter is probably in a hotel. Meanwhile, Christopher leaves the town, and the police tell him that they'll be looking for his wife all night. Christopher tries to find out about the town, but they don't help him. The officer and Rose go towards the hotel and hear a woman screaming. The woman was throwing stones at the woman Rose met before. The girl says her name is Anna, and she tells her that that woman is a sinner. Anna tells them that the symbol on the floor is the symbol of their faith. The police find a drawing and say it was in room number 111, and they go there. Meanwhile, Christopher infiltrates to search for files about the town, and he finds a box with the police records of Silent Hill, and he finds a photo of a girl very similar to his daughter, and he calls the orphanage. He finds room 111, and Rose sees a girl. She chases her and asks her who she is. The girl is crying, and Rose goes towards her. When the girl turns around, Rose sees that she is the same as Sharon.
You could be her twin.
And she asks her if she's Alessa.
Look at me.
And Alessa shows her how she burns, and Rose wakes up from the illusion. Rose tells the officer that Alessa was the one who caused the fire, and Anna tells them that they have to leave because the darkness is coming. The alarm sounds again, and they go towards a church. All the people of the town take refuge in the church. Rose tells Dahlia that she saw Alessa and asks her if she's dead, and she keeps speaking in code.
Evil wakes in vengeance. Be careful what you choose.
Everything goes dark, and the officer turns on the little flashlight. Rose and the officer enter the church, and Pyramid Head grabs Anna, undresses her, and rips off her skin. The people of the church call Rose and the police witches and attack them. The officer fires a shot in the air to calm them down. The cult leader named Christabella arrives, and they start to pray. Christopher goes to the orphanage and shows the sister the photo, but the sister doesn't want to answer. The officer arrives and arrests Christopher. The officer tells him that there was a cult that did terrible things, and he shows him his burned hands and sends him home. Rose asks Christabella for help to find Sharon, and she tells her that only the demon knows where she is, and she tells her where she has to go to find the demon. Christabella finds Rose's necklace on the floor and keeps it. The cult members take Rose and the officer to where the demon is, and they show her a map of where the demon is. Rose memorizes the map. A guy gives her a flashlight, and Christabella is going to return the necklace. But when she sees it, she looks at the photo of Sharon and calls them a witch because her daughter is the same as Alessa. The officer fights with the guys and helps Rose go find her daughter.
Find her.
But she doesn't have any bullets, so she lets them grab her, and they beat her. Rose arrives at a basement, and she finds some nurses that look like mannequins, but they move terrifyingly. She realizes that if you shine a light on them, they move, but if not, they stay still. She passes between the nurses, but one of them moves and cuts another's throat, and they start killing each other. Rose leaves the flashlight for them to get distracted, and she enters a door where Alessa is, and Alessa tells her what happened in Silent Hill. Christabella and her cult of religious fanatics blamed Alessa for being a witch, allegedly for being born out of wedlock, and her mother blames herself for leaving Alessa in their hands.
What have I done?
So they burn her, but everything goes wrong, and everything starts burning. The police officer who had burned hands grabs Alessa and takes her to a hospital. A curious nurse saw what was happening to Alessa and gets scared, and the demon arrives. The cruelty of what they did to her led Alessa to make a pact with the demon who promises her revenge against those who hurt her, submerging Silent Hill into a dimension of rust and decay. After the flashback, we see the nurse crying, and Rose looks at the burned Alessa. The girl tells her that Sharon is the good part of Alessa and that she was sent to an orphanage. The dark part of Alessa tells her that Christabella plans to burn Sharon too. The girl hugs Rose and enters her body, and we see the nurse with burned eyes. The cult finds Sharon, and Alessa's mother tries to save her. After that, we see that Christopher's handcuffs are removed, and he's let go. The cult prepares everything to burn Sharon.
It's okay. It's okay. Your mom is coming.
The officer is tied to a ladder and burned while everyone laughs. Rose arrives to confront the cult, and they beat her. Christabella stabs Rose. But Rose's spilled blood allows Alessa to enter the church, and her wound closes. Alessa arrives and starts killing all the cult members. She grabs Christabella and puts vines down there. And she impales her, and Alessa dances in the blood. Rose rescues Sharon, and she tells her to close her eyes, and the dark part of Alessa goes towards her and just stares at her, and Sharon passes out. After that, Rose and Sharon leave the town. Now the car starts and there is no abyss. Rose calls Christopher, but he only hears interference.
Hello?
Rose arrives home, but everything is still seen in fog, implying that Rose and Sharon never really left Silent Hill. And that's the end of the movie.